Peace and light, my dear ones. Today we are going to talk about a profound transformation that is happening to many chosen ones at this moment. The second spiritual awakening. Have you been feeling lately as if something is moving deep within your soul? A subtle yet constant feeling that a new phase is emerging in your consciousness. This is not just another change in your life. It is what we call the second spiritual awakening. A transformation much deeper and more powerful than you can imagine. Imagine for a moment. If the first awakening was like opening your spiritual eyes for the first time, the second awakening is like gaining high-definition vision of reality. It's as if you were living in a black and white world and suddenly, every color, every nuance, every shade of existence reveals itself in its true vibration. During your first awakening, you began to question the illusions that surrounded you. You left the automatic way of living and started to realize that there is something much greater than the material world. It was a precious moment of liberation. But now, the second awakening elevates all of this to a new level. Every thought of yours becomes a tool for transformation. Every emotion carries a divine purpose. Every action becomes a conscious act of creating your own reality. God's chosen ones are experiencing this calling with unprecedented intensity. The universe is communicating in increasingly clear and direct ways. You may be noticing profound changes in your being, from a new way of perceiving the world to emotional and spiritual transformations that seem to come from the depths of your soul. This is the divine work happening in your life, elevating your consciousness to the next level of spiritual evolution. In this special video, we will explore together the sacred signs that reveal that your second awakening is in full development. Every sign I will share is a divine confirmation of your spiritual evolution, proof that God is actively working in your life. If you identify with these signs, know that your divine mission is manifesting now more than ever. Before we dive into these profound revelations, don't forget to follow our channel and activate the notification bell. Your spiritual journey is about to gain a new dimension. But after all, what is the second awakening? The second awakening is a process of profound spiritual evolution that occurs after a person has gone through their first awakening. While the first awakening is often the moment when one becomes aware that there is something beyond daily routine and worldly concerns, the second awakening goes much further. It involves a deeper and more radical change in the way reality is perceived. At this stage, the person begins to see the world through different eyes, as if awakening from a long dream and realizing that the reality that once seemed absolute is in fact much broader and full of nuances. Unlike the first awakening, which can be momentary and triggered by a significant experience, the second awakening establishes itself in a more continuous and permanent way. At this point, the person not only recognizes that the world is more than it appears, but begins to delve into truths that were previously hidden. This awakening brings with it a new perception of the universe, of life, and most importantly, of oneself. One of the main characteristics of the second awakening is the expansion of consciousness. The person begins to perceive that everything is interconnected. The actions, thoughts, and emotions of each individual affect not only their own life, but also the world around them. It's as if the person can see the invisible connections that were previously unnoticed. Suddenly, every choice, no matter how small, takes on new meaning. This perception brings responsibility, as the person understands that they have the power to influence their own reality. With this, the feeling of being a victim of circumstances disappears, and the person assumes the role of protagonist in their spiritual journey. Another fundamental aspect of the second awakening is the dissolution of the ego. The ego is the part of the mind that identifies with appearances, social roles, desires, and comparisons. However, during the second awakening, the person begins to realize that the ego is not their true self. Instead, they come to understand that their essence goes far beyond their possessions, social status, physical appearance, or any label they have received throughout life. This realization can be liberating, but also challenging, as it implies detachment from beliefs that have been held for years. The dissolution of the ego is one of the most difficult parts of the second awakening, as the ego resists losing control. Many people go through existential crises at this moment, questioning the purpose of life, the decisions they made in the past, and even their personal relationships. This happens because what once seemed to make sense begins to lose meaning. But at the same time, new truths and a deeper purpose emerge. It is at this moment that many people begin to seek more intense spiritual practices, such as meditation, prayer, fasting, or other forms of introspection. One of the greatest revelations of the second awakening is the discovery of true essence. By disconnecting from the shackles of the ego and limiting beliefs, the person begins to connect with their authentic nature. It is not about becoming something new, but about returning to their original state. Many describe this experience as a feeling of coming back home or reuniting with their own soul. At this point, the person may feel a profound inner peace, a sense of fullness and joy that does not depend on external factors. This is because they reconnect with the divine essence that has always been within them, but which was previously obscured by daily concerns and the control of the ego. During the second awakening, the person also becomes more sensitive and empathetic. This happens because upon realizing the connection between all things, they start to care more about others and respect nature. The suffering of others is no longer ignored, and a genuine desire to help and contribute to collective well-being arises. The person understands that by helping others, they are also helping themselves, as everyone is interconnected. Often, this awakening leads people to change their professions, life projects, or social circles, as they seek activities that are more aligned with their soul's purpose. Another important point of this journey is the transformation of fears. Before, fear controlled many actions and decisions, but in the second awakening, the person begins to see fear as an illusion. By understanding that fear is an ego creation to protect itself from the unknown, the person learns to face it head-on. Fear ceases to be a barrier and transforms into an opportunity for growth. This does not mean that the person will never feel fear again, but rather that they will have the courage to confront it, knowing that it is not real in the absolute sense. The second awakening also brings with it greater clarity of purpose. Many people report that after this experience, they can perceive more clearly what they came to do in this world. This does not necessarily mean finding a specific profession or job, but understanding the type of contribution they wish to leave in the world. For some, the purpose may be to help others. For others, it may be to create something artistic or inspiring. What matters is that the person begins to feel called to a greater mission, which often has already been present in their life, but was not previously perceived clearly. This process does not happen in a linear fashion. Many people believe that spiritual awakening occurs all at once, but in reality, it comes in waves. There will be days of great clarity, but also days of doubt. The ego tries to regain control, and old patterns of behavior may resurface. This is part of the process. The important thing is not to give up and to continue seeking self-knowledge. Each time the person overcomes an obstacle, they reach a new level of consciousness. To achieve the second awakening, there is no single path. Some people reach it through crisis experiences, others through spiritual practices, or a conscious search for self-knowledge. It does not matter the path. What is important is to be willing to open oneself to transformation. This requires courage, humility, and patience, as the process is not instantaneous. It is a journey that lasts a lifetime. The second awakening is not just a personal experience. It has an impact on the world around. People who go through this process tend to become agents of transformation, helping others to find their spiritual path as well. This happens because the light they radiate illuminates those who are still in darkness. By becoming more conscious, these people contribute to the creation of a fairer, more loving, and harmonious world. Therefore, the second awakening is not the end of the spiritual journey, but the beginning of a new stage. At this point, the person understands that true happiness is not in external achievements, but in the peace that comes from within. They realize that the meaning of life is not in accumulating possessions or status, but in connecting with the purpose of their soul. The second awakening is an invitation to step out of illusion and into divine reality, where peace, love, and fullness are always present. Each person experiences this journey uniquely, but all share the same goal: to achieve a higher consciousness and reconnect with their true essence. Those who undergo this awakening never see life the same way again. They realize that they are not separate from the world, but are part of a greater whole. They understand that the divine is not outside, but within each one. And it is in this discovery that true freedom resides. Let's now talk about the first 3 sacred signs of the second awakening. Divine manifestations that are profoundly transforming the consciousness of the chosen ones at this unique moment. The first sacred sign manifests through the perception of vibrational frequencies. It is as if a veil has been removed from your spiritual senses, and for the first time, you begin to truly perceive that everything in the universe is energy in constant motion. Your thoughts, which once seemed merely mental activity, are now recognized as powerful creative forces, each emitting specific frequencies that shape your reality. This new capacity for discernment becomes your natural protection, gently guiding you away from energies that do not resonate with your frequency and attracting those who truly share your spiritual vibration. Superficial relationships naturally dissolve, while deep and meaningful connections begin to manifest in your life. These first 3 sacred signs of the second awakening are just the beginning of a much deeper transformation that is happening in your consciousness. If you are recognizing these changes in your life, know that you are on the right path, following the divine plan that has been laid out for your soul. Let's explore 3 more profoundly transformative signs of the second awakening, which reveal extraordinary spiritual maturity in your journey. The 4th sacred sign manifests through the dissolution of spiritual ego, one of the most subtle and challenging tests on your path. When we begin to awaken spiritually, it is common to experience a sense of spiritual superiority. You may find yourself judging those who have not yet awakened, or feeling special because of your mystical experiences and elevated understandings. However, true awakening brings a revolutionary understanding. The spiritual journey is not a competition, but a sacred dance where each soul moves at its own divine rhythm. True spiritual evolution manifests through deep humility. You begin to see the divine light in every being, regardless of their apparent level of consciousness. This new understanding completely transforms your interactions. Instead of judging, you develop genuine compassion. Instead of preaching, you inspire through example. The true chosen one understands that their light does not shine more brightly by dimming the light of others. On the contrary, their mission is to help awaken the inner light of every being that crosses their path. The 5th sacred sign manifests through the release of repressed emotions. It is as if the floodgates of your soul have opened, allowing long-held emotions to surface. You may find yourself crying for no apparent reason, laughing spontaneously, or experiencing intense waves of emotions that seem to come from nowhere. Now let's dive deeply into 3 extraordinary signs that mark the Second Awakening, revealing an even more intimate and powerful connection with the divine wisdom that resides in each of us. The 7th sacred sign manifests through the blossoming of a deep and reliable intuition, an extraordinary transformation in your ability to perceive and understand divine messages. Imagine that before, your intuition was like a poorly tuned radio, picking up only fragments of messages amidst the static. Now, it is as if you have access to a crystal clear and direct communication channel with the divine. This new intuition does not manifest as those vague feelings you used to experience. It arises as a clear and precise voice, a divine guidance that presents itself with unwavering certainty. It is as if every cell in your body vibrates in harmony with the truth being revealed. Insights come as flashes of divine light, illuminating complex situations with surprising clarity. What is most fascinating is observing how the trust in this inner guidance develops naturally, effortlessly, and without doubt. It is not something you need to practice or consciously develop. It is a deep knowing that emerges from the depths of your being, like a crystal clear spring of water spontaneously bubbling up from the earth. This divine voice becomes your internal compass, guiding every step of your journey with a precision that transcends human understanding. The 8th sacred sign reveals itself through a clarity of purpose that completely transforms your understanding of the meaning of life. It is as if you were living in a dark room, and suddenly the curtains are drawn open, allowing sunlight to flood the space. The question that has tormented your soul, "Why am I here?" finally finds its answer, not through words or concepts, but through a profound understanding that emerges from your own being. This revelation of your divine purpose does not occur as a dramatic event or a sudden epiphany. It is more like the unfolding of a sacred flower, where each petal that opens reveals a new layer of understanding about your unique mission. You begin to realize that every experience in your life, every challenge you faced, every talent you developed, was carefully orchestrated by the divine as preparation for this sacred moment of awakening. The 11th sacred sign reveals itself through a deep and transformative feeling of unity that completely revolutionizes your perception of reality. The illusory barriers that once separated you from others begin to dissolve, revealing a greater truth that has always been present. We are all different manifestations of the same divine consciousness. This understanding completely transcends the intellectual level. It is a lived experience in every fiber of your being. You begin to feel in a tangible and undeniable way that the same life force that pulses in your heart also pulses in every human being, in every animal, in every plant, in every particle of the universe. Divine love ceases to be an abstract concept and becomes a palpable reality that permeates and connects all existence. This expanded awareness of unity radically transforms your way of being in the world. Competition, which once seemed natural, gives way to a genuine spirit of collaboration. Judgment of others dissolves into a deep understanding that each being is on their own process of evolution. The differences between people cease to be a source of conflict and are celebrated as unique expressions of infinite divine creativity. The 12th and final sacred sign manifests through increased love and compassion that transcend any previous experience of love in your life. It is as if your heart expands beyond its physical limitations, becoming a pure and crystal clear channel for divine love to flow into the world. This love is not a common emotion or a feeling that you need to cultivate consciously. It is a transformative force that naturally emanates from your being. Like a spring that gushes crystal clear water effortlessly, This love simply overflows from your heart, touching and transforming all those who cross your path. It is an unconditional love that makes no distinctions, that does not judge, that does not demand anything in return. The compassion that accompanies this love is equally extraordinary. You develop a natural ability to feel and understand the suffering of others, not in a way that overwhelms you or drains your energy, but in a way that inspires you to be an instrument of healing and transformation in the world. It is as if your heart becomes a mirror of the divine heart, reflecting and amplifying universal love. This expanded love is the very essence of God flowing through you, transforming not only your life, but touching and uplifting all around you. It is the ultimate fulfillment of your divine mission, to become a pure channel through which divine love can manifest in the material world. Every word you speak, every action you take, every glance you direct at another becomes an expression of this divine love. It is essential to understand what happens in the second awakening, as this knowledge can be the key to a deeper and more meaningful spiritual journey. Knowing what is happening in your life and in your consciousness can help you navigate the changes that are to come and make the most of this opportunity for growth and evolution. When you understand what is happening in the second awakening, you can prepare for the changes that are coming and learn to deal with them consciously and intentionally. This can help you avoid the confusion and uncertainty that can arise when you do not understand what is happening in your life. Knowing what happens in the second awakening can help you make the most of this opportunity for growth and evolution. You can learn to cultivate the qualities and skills necessary to navigate the changes that are coming and to become the best version of yourself. The second awakening is a unique and personal process, and each person may experience it differently. However, understanding the basic principles of what happens in the second awakening can help you prepare for this journey and make the most of this opportunity for growth and evolution. Seeking knowledge and understanding about what happens in the second awakening can be an important step toward a more conscious and intentional spiritual journey. This can help you feel more secure and confident in your spiritual journey and make the most of this opportunity for growth and evolution. It is important to remember that the second awakening is a journey of self-discovery and transformation. It is a process that requires courage, determination, and a willingness to transcend the limitations of the ego. However, the benefits are infinite. Spiritual freedom, the realization of your true nature, and the opportunity to contribute to the creation of a more enlightened and loving world. Knowing what happens in the second awakening can be the key to unlocking your true potential and realizing your dreams and desires. It is an opportunity to connect with the infinite wisdom of the universe and to become an instrument of the divine. It is an invitation to become more conscious, more loving, and more connected with the universe, and to manifest light and love in every aspect of your life. If you have felt that these signs are manifesting in your life, it is a sign that God is preparing you for something greater. The second awakening is a special call from God, intended for the chosen ones. In this process, you are being shaped, strengthened, and guided to fulfill your unique mission. If you resonate with this, it is an invitation to declare your readiness for the second awakening by affirming, "I am ready for the second awakening," and allowing your light to shine for the world, revealing your true essence as a chosen one of God.